We're going to continue our holiday series, come here, Drew, and talk about manifestation and manifesting your gut and your gut health. So I was listening to one of Chalene Johnson's podcasts about 2 weeks ago or so, and she was talking about manifestation and how one of our pet peeves is that so many people talk about manifestation, but they don't actually talk about it in the sense of there's actually more for you to do than just say, oh, I want this thing, or like write it down all the time or think it and visualize it. And, the only thing you have to do is visualize it and put it out in the universe and it will just happen. It doesn't work like that. But it's very hard to understand that and to remember that when what you're hearing around the world is, well, you can manifest that. You can manifest anything. Well, yes, that's true. You pretty much could, not every single thing, but you could manifest a lot. It takes more than just thinking about it, though. There's more steps to it than that. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, to answer the question that I put out there in the title, can you manifest health in your gut throughout the holidays? Yes, you can. And let's talk about how, because it is not as simple as I want my gut healthy this season. And then it just happens. If only it were that easy. Seriously. So, the deal with manifestation is it's really more of mindset work, emotional work, psychological work. And when you look at your health triangle, you have physical, you have mental or emotional, okay? And then you also have your nutrition, your diet, what you're fueling your body with. And that includes things that you're putting on your body. So what we're talking about today is specifically associated with that mindset aspect and that side of your triangle. Does it work? Yes. What are the benefits? Well, it keeps you focused. It keeps you kind of narrowed in and dials you back, especially for those of us with some ADHD issues and ADD issues, you guys. If you start practicing manifestation and it's a daily task, even for just 5 minutes or a minute or so, it helps you stay focused on whatever your goal is, whether it's health or otherwise. Right now, we're talking about healing your gut, maintaining that health throughout a holiday season that has a lot of parties, a lot of gatherings. And after not having that for a short bit of time, there's a lot of us that are going to take advantage of it, rightfully so. And in doing so, you don't want to feel like you're sabotaging yourself. You want to feel like you're continuing to help yourself and not taking steps back. Manifestation can absolutely help with that. Now, there's some drawbacks to it in that if you miss a step or not, hey, Drew Bug, come here. Come here. So the drawbacks that can happen with manifestation is if you miss a step or you overlook a step in some way or you feel like it's not worth it. Let's find out what the little one wants. Come here, baby boy. He's my climber. So, and he's also clumsy like me. So, you want to see yourself on TV? Come on. Come on. Yeah. Are we okay? Are we okay? See, there you are. There you are. Okay. So let's get back to it. So the drawbacks to when you're missing a step or you're overlooking something are quite simply that now you're distracting yourself from whatever goal you have. So if your goal is to maintain health of your gut, improve your immune system and keep it boosted, which the two are intertwined, then your focus should be on that. Now, does that mean you have to obsess over it? It just means that every day you want to spend at least a minute focusing on this is my goal. What are my tasks today to achieve this goal? Now, if you have been maintaining your health, the health of your gut for a long time and health of your body for a long time, you're just mindful of it. And your manifestation may be related to something else. When your goal and when it's new, especially when it's a new thing, so either you've healed your gut recently or you are just starting to heal your gut, you do want to be extra mindful, mostly because if it's something that's habit, which is what I always teach and I always educate my clients in how to do, is you want to practice health. Okay, whatever steps and choices you need to make to create your healthy body, to improve the health of your gut and the rest of your body, diminish all those side effects from autoimmune dysfunctions, chronic illness, and food sensitivities, like diminish them as much as absolutely possible, then you're going to be mindful more so in the beginning stages, the first year. And, really the first 6 weeks, first 3 months are going to be crucial, and you're going to be especially mindful. You're going to be almost obsessed with it. It's going to be one of your main focuses. And then slowly over time, as it becomes natural, then what happens is you just start practicing. That's it. You just practice what you've put into place, the things that work for you. The first 3 months and really just the first 6 weeks are kind of that practice to figure out what really works for you, what really doesn't, because there are a number of practices that will help improve your health, right? And help improve your gut. When we're looking at manifestation, the manifestation aspect of this is helping you focus, helping you stay on track. Good job, Bookable. So yeah, there's drawbacks if you miss some steps, but ultimately, if you're still focusing on your goal, excuse me, you guys. Okay, so ultimately, if it's helping you to focus on your goals, then missing one or two steps, as long as it's not something that you notice from the get-go, it's not going to make a huge difference. What the difference it makes and when it becomes a drawback is when you feel like, oh my God, I missed something. Now it's not gonna work. Manifestation is a strategy. Let's try this again. REW, yeah. Manifestation is a strategy to help you stay on track. That's what manifestation is. Traditionally, it has worked so well for centuries, which is why it's so popular. It's why it's such a common recommendation. And it's why so many coaches and, health gurus talk about manifestation. Now, what about manifestation in the universe? What you put out comes back, right? Well, the universe needs to see action. You can't just say, hey, I want this, and just wait for it to happen. The best goals, the ones that are achieved, are the ones that you put out of, I want this, and then you put actions into place to achieve that. So the universe helps. And I use the word universe, just if you're new here, I use the word universe to describe whatever higher power you believe in. In my world, it's the universe. In your world, it's something else. I don't care what it is. This still applies. So when you put things into the universe, your universe wants to see that you're giving back, that you're doing something. Okay. And the way that our brain interprets words and thoughts and actions is, when you say something, your brain automatically assumes that's truth, whether it is or it's not. And then from that truth, if you just let that sit, sometimes it becomes an action. So have you heard the phrase, thoughts become words, words become actions? Whatever thoughts you have can become an action if you allow them to be. And sometimes they do it subconsciously because for whatever reason, you just aren't thinking about it negatively and positively. So when you're looking at manifestation and putting those messages into the universe wants to see that you're doing something to facilitate this desire, right? This thing that you're trying to manifest. There's a program that happens every single year, and I love it. And I don't know why the name is escaping me right now. Oh my gosh, I will put it in the. ah, I don't know why it's escaping me. Anyway, every year, she plans for the following year, and in her goal structure, what it is what are your goals? What actions are you going to take to achieve said goals? Because the goals are what you put out as a desire in the universe, right? That's what you're attempting to manifest. The actions are the things that you are going to do to show the universe how badly you want your goals, how badly you want these things. If you're not taking any action toward it, they're just words. She shared a story about a massage therapist, and I'm going to share the link down below because it was a great episode, you guys. It was amazing. Where, this massage therapist came to their house and was giving her a massage, and she had said to Shalene, "Hey, I'm a I'm a millionaire too." And Shalene's like, "Wow, okay, this doesn't add up, but all right. Explain more." And they were talking, having a conversation. Well, it turns out what this woman had done was she had wrote on a post-it and put it on her mirror, "I am a millionaire." Okay. So in her head, she was a millionaire because her words told her she was a millionaire. And whether she was taking action toward that or not, no clue. She could have been, but in that one simple conversation, not an extended version, but in that simple conversation, those were just words. They weren't followed up by actions. So the reality of that statement being true or false, reality of it actually having the opportunity to grow and manifest into something real, if it happened, it would be like a flip of a coin, or winning the lottery. Not saying it wouldn't happen, but if you're not taking actions towards it, then you're putting your hands into luck. My life doesn't need luck. I'm very capable of doing the work. You are very capable of doing the work, regardless of your challenges. Does your journey look different than mine? So freaking lootly. So now let's talk about the stages of manifestation, what it actually looks like, what it should look like. So we're going to use the example of healing your gut because that's what we're focusing on this season. Whether you have just started or whether you've done this recently, this applies to you. Okay. First step is visualization. Write it down, draw it. If you haven't done my Felicia exercise or my by Felicia exercise, you could do something similar. Draw yourself, write down all the little characteristics and words that describe what you want, how you want to feel, what you want to look like. Do you want to look tired? Do you want to look vibrant? Do you want to have energy? Sleep better? How does that feel? What does that look like on the other side when you actually achieve all these things you wish to manifest? What does it look like? What does it feel like? When you're visualizing, you want to visualize every little intricacy that you possibly can. Waking up feeling refreshed every single day, not feeling like you're weighed down or you've got a rock in the pit of your stomach when you wake up that's making it challenging to move because you're constipated and you don't know why. Or you're just walking around feeling like you have to let something out, but you don't know why. Or like if you had a pinprick to prick your belly, all the air would go out and you would just feel so much better. These are things that you could be living with on a day-to-day basis. Well, what's the flip side of that? If your manifestation is to heal that and the actions that you're taking are to heal that, then what's the flip side look like? How do you want that to feel? That's what goes into your visualization. Now, the next step after that is to set up some action steps. Okay. Man, I gotta sneeze again. I went to Austin this weekend, and anytime I pass Hillsboro, it's like a 2 week time frame to flip that sucker around. Anyway, my body does not like Austin allergies. My friend says I'm allergic to Austin. All right, so back to it. So first is visualization, and then we're going to take some actions. So you want to not only set those goals, which you would have had to set before your visualization anyway, um, or during visualization, you realize what those goals are, right? Your goals should align with what you want the other side of that picture to be. From that, set some actions up, set some step-by-step things that you can do every single day to remind yourself of your goals and to make sure that you're doing the work that will get you whatever want or desire you're trying to manifest, right? Step 3 is to be accountable. If you're not willing to be realistic with yourself, then getting to the other side of that mountain is not necessarily going to be the easiest thing. Will it happen? I don't know. But if you're not accountable, you're not open to hearing reality from a different side point or from a different viewpoint. And here's what I mean by that, and this is why I'm bringing it up, is our brains skew reality. Okay? There's my story, your story, and reality. And my reality and your reality will never line up. They might get pretty damn close, but they're never going to line up. In this reality, the actual reality, our brains will never see it. An outside third party will. That's why our next tip is to seek help, seek guidance. If you can't afford a professional like myself, find a buddy. Even if you can't afford me, and or another nutritionist. If you have the money and the funds to find a program that works for you and get into one so that you have all the steps laid out for you, um, give you a tracker, give you some accountability tools. There are other ways that you can do this without spending a dime. Find an accountability buddy. Make sure it's somebody you listen to. If it is somebody that you do not listen to, their words will go in one ear and out the other, and it will not get you back on track. All right. Trust yourself. This is number 5. Trust in you. Our brain likes to play games with us, our subconscious, but conscious you knows you. You have the ability to do so much more than many times you realize. It is in you to move mountains. It is in you to heal your body. It is in you to do anything you wish to manifest. Anything you visualize can happen. It can. There's very few things that cannot. And unfortunately, those are things that we have no control over a lot of times. However, there are things that you can control. And you, my dear, are very capable, very able-bodied. You are stronger than you realize. And if I could only just deliver some confidence into you, it would be this. You're a human being. Well, hopefully you're a human being. If you're an alien, don't comment. But you're a human being. Human beings adapt, we learn, and we grow to whatever is around us because our vital instincts, our innate internal instincts want us to survive. Trust yourself. Trust in your internal voice. Do the things that you need to do to stay accountable, to stay on track, and practice daily. Practice, 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 practice. Just like a world-class athlete has to practice. Just like we have to practice everything that we preach. I have to practice what I preach. If I don't, then why am I talking to you? Why are you listening to me, right? Practice every single day. The more you practice, the more it becomes ingrained into your day-to-day life. And once it becomes ingrained into your day-to-day life, now you're no longer consciously practicing, you're waking up and just living life. And it's just what you do every day. That's it. Every day I wake up, I have a glass of water next to my bed. I drink that water before I even leave the room. I might only have a sip or two, but I drink it before I leave the room. And at this point, I don't even think about it. And I'll go back sometimes and not remember whether I drank it or whether I didn't. Make it easy for yourself. Trust yourself and just practice. Over time, practice becomes habit. And that practice is how we got here. That's how you got to this place in your health. Okay. So all you're trying to do is shift those practices to healthier practices so that when you're trying to manifest a healthier gut, what you're doing is you're practicing the healthier choices day in, day out, whatever those may be. Be realistic. Do not overwhelm yourself, you guys. And whatever those practices are, whatever those choices are, just practice every single day. And eventually, it's no longer practice. It's just the way you do things. Typically, this happens in less than a year. Less than a year. I have had people start this where it's a practice within just the first 3 months. One of the comments that I get, one of the testimonials and the feedback I get a lot is the awe and the confidence and the pride that comes from, I did not realize that my mindset would change. I did not realize that by simply doing these little things day in, day out for, the 6-week time frame or 3-month time frame, that my mindset would change. That instead of waking up every day feeling like, okay, I'm gonna get through the day, or, here's what's on the menu. Now it's, here's what I'm ordering from this restaurant. And when I'm looking at the menu, I'm looking for vegetables and fruits first. I'm not looking at, um, oh, I want to make sure it tastes good, or I want to make sure, it's comfort food, or I'm craving a burger. When you understand what those cravings mean, now you can come back and look at the menu or look at your meal plan and say, okay, I need to increase my spinach. I had one girl recently, not one girl, one client recently who what she had done is she was craving a lot of red meat. And she's not really a red meat eater. She understood that that meant she needed more iron. There were a couple of other symptoms there, but because of those symptoms, what they all added up to was she needed more iron. So what she ended up doing was several days of packed full green smoothies, some cruciferous foods, toss those suckers into like I think she had broccoli cheese soup one night. I'm kind of jealous because it looked delicious. Um, and she was able to get her iron levels to the point where that craving was gone within just a couple of hours. There are things that those signals that are sent to you that will tell you what you need, the choices you need to make. Using manifestation keeps you on track with practicing all those choices. So when you're going to go and manifest something, remember that manifestation is not just telling the universe what you want. You do want to be careful of your wording. I want to leave you with this final thought. You want to be very careful with your wording. Negative begets negative. Positive begets positive. So if you have positive words, so the phrase I am, right? I want, I desire, I will, rather than can't, won't, don't, avoid, stop. Any of those words, set them to the side. One of the practices out there, it's 55 and 5. So for 5 days, you write down whatever you're trying to manifest 55 times. Okay, 5 days in a row. If you miss it, you go back to it, right? You have to start over. There's a couple of other things. You can journal every single day, whatever your manifestation is, um, you can journal and track that progress and write down what your feelings and your thoughts are about your manifestation actions that day. You can write it down on a sticky and put it on the wall where you read it every single morning, every single night. You read it multiple times a day. Whatever process you take to manifest something, to create a visualization every time you see that phrase, make sure it's something that's easy that works with your life. For some of you, sitting and writing 55 times is not going to do anything but piss you off. So pick something else. Say it in your own words. Record it on one of our fancy smartphones. Record it. And then listen to it. If you're not someone that's going to read something on the wall, listen to it. Listen to it multiple times a day. What you're doing is you're getting the message into your head to remind you these are the steps that you said you needed to take. So today, this is still your goal. So that means these things are what you have to do. To achieve this goal, you're going to do these things because you're maintaining that alignment with whatever you want to manifest. All right. So next week, we're going to talk a little bit more about stress management and actually getting through the holidays next week. Um, Returning to your healthier habit. I had to write it down because I had a really cool idea. One of the challenges that happens when we go off and we celebrate is, especially when you're freshly new and you're just starting a program or you're just finishing up a program and kind of entering into real world, it's how do you return right back to healthier habits, the things that you did before holiday day where you indulged? How do you do that? Is it really as simple as you just go back to it? Sometimes, yes. Once it becomes an innate practice, once it becomes a day-to-day thing, it's not a big deal. But when you hit those first couple, so the first 2 years, the first holiday situations like that, it can be a challenge. So we're going to talk about that next week. I thought it would be the perfect topic for next week, given that Thanksgiving is next week. A lot of us are going to be traveling, um, and in other parts of the world. So travel is part of this. Returning to healthier habits once you're done traveling and you're not in your normal environment. These are things that will help you get back on track. And that's what we're going to talk about next week. As far as this week, stay healthy, get your vitamin C in, get your echinacea in, make sure that zinc is on point, and keep up with all those greens. If you have to, warm green smoothie. It works. It really does, you guys. All right, I will chat with you later. Bye, guys.